And we are live with session 32 of our Drowned Gods campaign. We had some interesting stuff happen last session. Mono Anui is definitely not feeling quite as cocky as normal, shall we say?
You meant to just go low testosterone.
But terrible puns aside, do we have Akalupu notes?
No.
Yeah, makes sense. So we will get started. Everyone reset your hero point pools to 1. And who would like to give the recap for an extra hero point? Abe, you went last time, so you are disqualified.
DQ.
We gotta have some variety.
I'll do it, I guess.
Alrighty.
See if I have any luck without notes.
So we pick up last time right after Mono Anui and Yasuka were wrapping up their final watch for the evening.
That's right. So they were walking back and they were kind of chatting about stuff. And then Yasuka was just like frozen all of a sudden, and Mono Anui had like shivers up his back and felt like something very bad was about to happen. And he looked around and it was Topple. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, once again, with me just like not doing his voice, I still haven't figured out how to do a good Topple voice. I swear he's different every single time he talks.
But like the vibe is the same. We all understand. But yeah, so he's there and he's kind of leaning against the wall. Mono Anui is all like, "Oh, I'm surprised to see you here." And he's like, "Well, I mean, it's death and destruction. Like, kind of sounds like my kind of place."
Well, it wasn't
Mono
death and
Anui is
destruction.
like,
It was more
"Yeah."
like buried, forgotten things, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Akalupu thinks it's about the same thing.
Well, these aren't the Akalupu notes this time.
They're not, but we're gonna ignore that. So then he's kind of talking, and he's talking about the crown, and he's like, "Do we really trust anybody else? Would you want anybody else to have the crown? It's kind of super powerful."
Yeah, can you imagine Akalupu with the crown? Just able to turn invisible whenever he feels like it. He was already creeping through people's windows.
Right. Would not end well. But yeah, Mono Anui was all like, "Yeah, it seems kind of like a bad idea. Maybe I should take the crown." Topple's like, "Well, you can't really wear the crown right now. You don't really got what it takes, but I could give you what it takes." And Mono Anui was all like, "Well, are you gonna turn me into a pony?" He was like, "Well, not quite that far, but I can still do what it takes." And he pulls out a contract, and Mono Anui is like, "Huh, I'm not going to turn into a pony. I don't know what she could be doing, but it seems definitely worth it." And he reads over the contract. He doesn't seem anything too crazy, so he's like, "You know what? I think I'm just going to do it." So he signs the contract, and then zoop, he ends up waking up with everybody else. But he kind of feels different. Maybe like he's lighter in some way. But he kind of just like wakes up and he goes around. He starts waking everybody else up because we got to go fight the bad guys. And he kind of just like talking to people. He's like, "Do I kind of seem different at all?" And everybody's like, "I don't know what you're talking about because it's kind of dark." And then he thinks about it. He's like, "Oh yeah, there's something I totally forgot outside because when we killed the bourgeoisie." We didn't get anything from them. So he goes outside and he kind of starts looking for it. And suddenly he goes out. He's like, while I'm out here, I kind of got to pee. So he goes over to a bush to pee, and then there's just a shriek. A loud shriek. A very shrill shriek. And was it PPOP? PPOP runs out.
Yeah.
Because he heard the shriek.
Yeah, because Akalupu was still refusing to wake up. And PPOP had commented, and when he asked if he was any different, it was like, "Your voice seems a little higher than normal."
Yeah. But anyways, he goes out, and Mano Inui try to pretend like nothing ever happened, even though he realized he was no longer the man he once was. He had been turned into a woman. Well, not a woman at this point, a girl. But anyway, so then they find the thing that they were looking for, which was a hammer that said the power of
the means of production.
The means of production,
which is another Marxist joke.
Yes.
Because the bourgeoisie control the means of production.
Yeah.
And the proletariat have to overthrow them and recover the means of production.
But there's one thing that's certain. That'll never happen in Russia. That's what Marx said, which I thought was kind of... Anywho.
Yeah, famously never socialist country. Or never communist, I should say, country.
The famous bastion of capitalism. well renowned. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but then PPOP kept the hammer, and then everybody went back inside.
Actually, I think Mano Inui kept the hammer. PPOP has the crystal vial of the Tears of the 1%, and Mano Inui has the hammer.
That's right. I knew one of them had one, and the other one had the other one, but I couldn't remember which way it was. And then I think we were eating breakfast. Yes, we were eating breakfast. And Mano Inui ran outside and said he just needed some fresh air, tried to eat outside. And then Akalupa tried to come out and try to give him some more food and eat out there with him. But Mano Inui was being a big old jerk. And Akalupa ended up eating in front of him. And when he went to go back inside and he was eating his meat, he ended up biting a poisonous wasp that made his tongue flare up and gave him mumplum. And so then Sam had to help fix him.
And she brought down the swelling, but he still can't taste anything.
Yes, so he's very sad about that. And then we're all like, all right, well, let's go do it. And we went to go fight the creepy noises. And there was a lot of fighting about who had the light, who didn't have the light. Eventually, somebody ended up with the light. I think it was PPOP ended up with the light.
Yep.
I don't remember. Somebody ended up with, so the PPOP ended up with the light, and we ended up fighting these creepy skeletal horsey dudes. And there was
mummies and zombies.
And then there was smoke. And everybody ended up charging through the poisonous smoke.
PPOP, something interesting happened with, I think his first attack.
I know he ended up breaking all of his knives.
Yep.
So by the end he didn't have any knives.
Yeah, his knives shattered just immediately after he was like, 2 is enough. And they immediately shattered.
Yeah. Yasuka did fireballs. Akalupu bit people.
Mano Inui did eventually throw PPOP the Kopesh that you guys have been holding on to this whole time.
He did.
And thank goodness for that.
Yep.
Yeah, Akalupu bashed through things and bashed barricades on people's heads. And everybody ended up finally winning, even though I feel like Mano Inui almost died again.
Yeah, he did almost die again.
Which is a big improvement.
Yeah, compared to the last fight where you went down twice.
Mano Inui hasn't ever almost died. Mano Inui has just died.
No, because technically you are dying. You don't die until you hit dying 5 because you have that one trait, right?
Yeah. So I should clarify. Mano Inui took a big step in longevity by not getting to the dying condition.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, we ended up finally defeating them, and we got another thing. I don't remember what this one was.
The thing.
Yeah. So in one of the chests that
Oh,
were
that's
both
right. We went to the
trapped.
chest. Yes, we went to the chests. They were both trapped. PPOP ended up de-trapping them. And then we opened them up, and one was full of bits, and the other one had
A plaque
thing. Yeah.
that
plaque.
had some text on it that might be related to Google somehow.
That's right.
So it was a plaque that said "Don't be evil" with "evil" in quotes.
That's right.
Yeah,
Is
and
there anything
then
that happened after that? And then we went back.
and very
that was it.
accusatory at BlackRock and Starfire.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mano Inui got PPOP to be weird about it.
Like how we're just throwing all the blame on poor old Mono Anui. Poor old traumatized Mono Anui.
Oh yeah, and also Mono Anui. You should look at your character's alignment. May have changed.
Profile? Oh, hey, look at that. You talking about like to should I say it out loud or
If you want to.
okay, you're talking about like the chaotic neutral?
Correct. You went from chaotic good to chaotic neutral. I feel like you've earned that at this
I don't know why
point.
you would say that. I have no idea why that would go through your head.
Chaos is definitely right.
All right, yeah, so that pretty much catches us up. So the fight was intense but not terribly long, so it's still fairly early in the day. There's still, sunlight streaming through the entryway, which is not actually very bright, having to go through a waterfall, but it feels bright. Considering that you've been wandering around inside of a cave all this time. And you guys have now defeated all 3 supporters of late stage capitalism. And from what you've been told, you should now have what you need to be able to defeat it.
Onwards to glory. No,
You'll have to
Does anyone
decide.
need healing? I could use some stamina points.
well, we could use a resolve point to get half of our stamina points back.
Well, no. Now that you're out, correct. Now that you're out of combat, you can take a short rest, which is just 15 minutes. Spend 1 resolve point, and that will recover all of your stamina.
I say we do that.
Let's take a short rest.
I agree.
All right, and I'm assuming because you were the one opening and disarming traps that PPOP, you are the one with the plaque?
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. And Yasuka will unload all of the bits from her saddlebags because she doesn't need to be carrying that into combat with her.
Right?
PPOP, would you like to become a horse for this fight so that you can move faster? Because that could have been helpful in the last fight.
Yeah, I do want to try that. It's time.
It's time.
Meditation Zen mode. Horse. Body. Human.
Are you going to are you going to do it entirely by yourself, or are you going to ask BlackRock to help again?
Can we do like a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Ultron form?
So like stack two unicorns on top of each other?
Yeah, for like one giant corn.
That would be entertaining, but no. Unfortunately, that would not be very effective.
Then I'd like to take some alone time to decompress after that fight.
Alrighty. So that's gonna be a will save. I think makes the most sense, unless there's a skill that fits there.
24.
The Animorph skill.
The Animorph skill. There you go. Yeah, I think will save makes as much sense as anything for meditation. Yeah, that is more than enough. You're able to kind of sit down. Do you go off somewhere? Maybe meditate by the pool of tears. Maybe go under the waterfall. Go all anime style and like meditate on one foot. Underneath the waterfall.
Underneath the waterfall.
And with that roll, yeah, even with the waterfall there, you are able to overcome all distractions. Center yourself, center your energies, and become one with the universe and one with your other self. This, well, not really another self, but this other side of you. And you are able to go into centaur form again. Do you have what that does for you written down somewhere, or do I need to remind you?
Please remind me, but I believe it's the mage hand and the move speed goes to 40, I think it was.
Correct. And then you do have a little stubby horn, so technically you can use that for unarmed attacks if you want, but it's not like a full-sized unicorn horn, so it's not going to be as effective. You're probably still better off with your bone Kopesh. Also, would you like to maybe take some time to see if you can find some other backup weapons in case your Kopesh rolls terribly as well and just explodes?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea. I'll see if I can find some, pointy looking sticks.
Okay. Give me survival.
What if I give you a 15?
That will be good for one stick. That's already like pretty much ready to go.
I'm gonna take that using my assurance.
Cool. Do you want to coat that in toxic goop again?
Yeah, and the Kopesh too.
Alrighty, so that on the first hit does 1d6 persistent acid damage.
Weapon extra damage. Add custom. Message.
Alright, and what is everyone else up to? Sammy's probably gonna prepare lunch for everyone. Most people aren't that hungry yet, but Akalupu certainly is.
Well, Manamanui is going.
Hungry and sad.
I'm being secondly cat face.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, especially once you get the food, you'll realize exactly how sad. At this point, I don't know if you're thinking that far ahead. Oh yeah, another thing that we forgot to mention. Sammy rolled a heal check on Manawanui and noticed his lack of manliness.
Yeah. But Manawanui gave her a menacing glare.
I believe it was say anything and you're dead.
No, it was you don't know what happened to me, but I do.
Anyway, so you were saying Manawanui's going to do something?
Oh, Manawanui's going to reload the crossbow.
Finally, like 20 minutes later, he's like, oh yeah!
I forgot about that thing.
This thing doesn't work very well unless I, draw it back and put a bolt in it.
I figured we'd assume that would happen, but just in case.
And I would assume you're using one of your arrows that you coated in caustic
Yes.
goop.
Yes, I saved them for this one. I found out your name last time, and I was like, yeah, we gotta save them. We gotta save these puppers.
Oh, you poor deluded fool. You've triggered my trap card. All right.
Yeah. And if possible, Mama Nui's gonna eat lunch before everyone else, just so we didn't have to, deal with the whole not eating in front of anyone else.
So you're just gonna like grab some of your emergency rations and then hide in a room somewhere?
Basically. Stupid freaking copper.
Sit by the 1% pond, cry.
No. Mama Nui doesn't cry on the outside.
But what you didn't know is that
Maybe
this
it's-
pond is a man! A man pond!
Man. I will slay the pond then. Bring my wrath.
Alright. Yasuka, Starfire, and Blackrock are gonna be like, divvying out the bits, talking excitedly about what they're going to do with them. And so far, it sounds like some sort of, epic party / shopping trip. Like, you can't tell whether they're planning a pub crawl or just going to the mall. Or both.
It's a smoothie crawl.
Smoothie crawl. Exactly. They're going to try every single smoothie from every single, what did we decide to call it? The not Starbucks? Anyway.
Oh.
Pastoral deer.
Pastoral deer.
I feel like we should call it Star Bits.
Starbits is
Starbits.
pretty good. I do like that. So they're gonna do a smoothie crawl of every Starbits on the entirety of Silicon Valley. All right, so PPOP doesn't take you too long, considering you kind of just found a sharp stick and then coated it in goop. So you come back in, your long, luscious locks flowing in. I guess you were under the waterfall, so you're shaking the water out of them. I'm sure that you're shirtless and they're 6-pack abs and everything, just showing off as you enter, shaking the water off of yourself.
Hair.
Behold!
Yeah, Yasuka, Blackrock, and Starfire have to try to hide the fact that they're drooling.
No, blood streams out of their nose.
Exactly.
She's saying no to them to tell.
I slowly unsheath my Kopesh blade from my back scabbard, wipe it along my bare chest,
You coated it in goop. You might want to not do that.
and then lick up and down from the hilt.
All right, we're gonna need a fortitude check to see if you dissolve from the inside.
And then he woke up.
Oh.
So Blackrock is the first to manage to close her mouth, and she's like, "Hey PPOP, welcome back. You look good."
PVOV kind of blushes and turns away.
So
Oh, you think so?
yeah. So what were you up to out there?
Well, meditating, of course, for my transformation.
Yeah.
I had to feel the extreme power of the waterfall.
So Yasuka's finally also recovered. It's like, yeah, that is so metal.
Well, it's a little bit more fluid than metal.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though? We are, like, totally gonna slay Horse Buddies forever. And she's gonna come over and she's gonna try to do this same, like, complicated horse version of a high five with you that she's been doing with the other unicorns. So probably performance, maybe athletics or acrobatics to try and like keep up.
I got a
Despite the fact-
17.
That's pretty good. So you do okay. She has to like stop and kind of like move you in a couple of places to get you to do the right thing. But you're able
Patty
to pretty
cake,
well
patty
muddle
cake.
through.
Huh.
It's a little weird because like you're still not used to, because as a centaur,
My-
you have 6 limbs, right? Instead of
Right,
just
my-
4.
My rear legs are just like twitching occasionally.
Exactly. It's very odd to get used to, and of course, you know the entire high five doesn't use your hands or arms at all. But yeah, so you're actually able to do it pretty well. And then it ends with the hip bump.
Hiya! Nice.
Yeah. Oh my
All right.
gosh, I am so excited for this.
Someone get me late stage capitalism. And I will give you its head. If it has a head.
So now Starfire talks up. Yeah, it like probably won't have a head, or maybe it'll have a lot. It's like an amorphous blob thing. But, you know, you've got the right attitude, right? So,
All right, well, what are we waiting for?
yeah, you guys have all of the tokens, right?
Vial, check.
Hammer.
Plaque, plaque, check.
Good. You'll need those even just to get into the thing, and then once you're in, I'm really not sure how you use them from there. All I know is that you like can't hurt late stage capitalism without them, but that's all I really know. So
Tagalupu, you should take the means of production and bash its head in.
Akalupu likes this plan.
Right, Manawanui?
Is the means of production the is that the hammer?
correct.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll give to you the tears of the 1%, because they seem magical in some way, which you see will probably be able to use better than I will.
Righteous. I'm gonna take the vial and give the hammer to Akalupu.
All right. BlackRock is going to use one of her spells, and she's going to go ahead and give you your last couple hit points back, Monoanui. And then just make sure everyone has given themselves the short rest and has all their stamina back.
But that's one less resolve point, correct?
Correct. It costs 1 resolve point. So everyone should be at least 1 resolve point down now. Few of you, like, I think no, it was Akalupu used 1 in the last fight. So he should be down to 1 resolve point. And then resolve points you get back at a long rest. Now, you can, if you want to, just chill for the rest of the day, try to kill late stage capitalism tomorrow, but that's going to cut things pretty close with Luna coming back.
We need to secure that Fargan Crown. ASAP. So we can all get a return on our investment.
All the blood that Mono Inui has invested so far.
Yeah, all the skin in the game, you could say.
Yeah, Akalupu definitely hasn't been going back over the battlefields and feeding your blood to his rock.
No, of course not. I'm sure that won't do anything malicious. Sure, it'll have no impact on Akalupu's.
Yeah, and then Akalupu, unfortunately, his pink rhombus also will be used up from the last fight, so no temporary hit points.
Probably won't be a problem.
Probably. So Starfire says, good. Now that you have the tokens, you should be able to defeat the creature, but be very careful. This thing is extremely dangerous. These fights that we've had up to this point were merely its supporters, its minions. Late stage capitalism will truly test you. Except that's not her voice. Late stage capitalism will, like, truly test you.
Ugh, I hate tests.
We're all gonna die.
All right. So you guys head up. Now that you're finally, I think this is the first time you guys have stepped foot across the to the other side of this wall.
It is.
And yeah, just stepping here, despite the magical light that you've brought with you, everything immediately feels more sinister and darker, as if some sort of lingering foulness was here in this part of the cave. And you can actually, you almost feel as though you can see a creeping dark miasma crawling along the ground and slowly reaching tendrils out toward this entrance. The rest of this cave, the left side where the 1% was, had kind of had the freshest air of the two sides because of that opening in it, and was kind of vegetal and moist. The other side had felt very desiccated and kind of old, the side with the corporations. Now, as you're going deeper in, this air around you just feels like a stifling stillness. Just this sickly nothingness, like a void almost. The air doesn't move at all, but this, otherwise, there's this, like I said, this almost darkness creeping along the ground, it seems like.
Something foul of the air up here.
Yeah, what was the Gandalf line where he's like picking which side to go, and he goes the way that smells less horrible?
Oh, he's remembered. No, he says it's least foul over here or it's fresher over here, something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, you're going the fouler route now. Not taking Gandalf's advice.
Dang.
All right, so now that you've pushed forward a little further, especially you, Mono Inui, with your ability to see in dim light, you can see across the ground piles of bones.
Guys, it's a bunch of dead things up there.
Like zombies again?
No, like dead.
Well, that's a good sign.
That's gonna be late stage capitalism in a few minutes.
Dead.
Dead.
Guys, see my whole share of yourselves. It looks as if many skulls that are about the size of me lie ahead.
So they're tiny children?
You know what, Luca? I think you should go first.
You know,
Why
Mono
don't
Inui
you-
does have the dim light vision, though. All right. So as you press even further into the cave, you once again you see these piles of bones, but now you see just the very edge of some sort of a yawning chasm. You can't tell how deep it is from this distance, obviously, but there appears to be a sudden stop and then just a pit.
Is it quiet?
Yes, extremely quiet. There isn't even the sound of dripping water, like there has been in some of the other parts of the cave. Here, it's just complete silence, other than the noises of your own footsteps.
The pit of despair.
Do I see anything in particular about the pile of bones, or are they just piles of bones?
Piles of bones. It seems to be an indiscriminate mix of different creatures. There appear to be unicorn bones mixed with other various life, indigenous life. There seems to be, birds and bats and just all kinds of bones just mingled in a jumbled mess. And
indiscriminate consumption.
and then as you step past the threshold into the main area of the room, you suddenly feel something tugging at your feet.
I'm gonna look down.
So you look down, and this dark miasma that you really weren't sure whether it was a trick of your your imagination, or what, it seems to be very real. And it mingled with these bones, has these bones like rasping at your feet, and the area is now difficult terrain, which means that you move at half speed and cannot sprint.
Oh man, if only we were all horsey people.
Yes, it's hard to tell. You don't think that they're like, you crush a few of the bones under feet, maybe, or I don't know what your reaction is, but they don't seem like the undead that you fought earlier, where they were like animated by some sort of actual semi-intelligence. This seems to just be like them grasping and groaning at you.
Mono Inui, do you want to ride so that you don't have to stand in the sticky miasma?
I think I will. I'm gonna hop on PPOP.
All right. Yasuka will give Sammy a ride then.
Akalupu.
Akalupu looks at Blackrock.
You can't. She's like way back here.
Akalupu looks back at the passage.
Back toward the direction of Black.
Looks at Chi-Chi.
Exactly. Yeah, Akalupu looks at Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi just like cocks its head at an angle, not comprehending.
Chi-Chi.
Good luck
Chi-Chi
riding Chi-Chi. I'm thinking it'll go very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
know if Akalupu wants a squirrel or a rat down there.
Yeah. So you guys now come to the very edge of the chasm, and you can see that it does indeed stretch down significantly further than your light can reach. Now, your light only illuminates out to 30 feet, so that doesn't mean that much, other than that it is more than 30 feet deep.
Can I not have two light sources at the same time?
No, you can. As soon as you cast light a second time, it removes the original one. So you can only have one active at a time. Now, Sammy has given, I think PPOP is casting light. Let me see.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
if that's the case,
PPOP
then-
is currently casting light, and Monoanui is casting light.
Well, since Manawanu is astride PPOP, Manawanu is going to cast light on some sort of non-essential object, such as a bone, mayhap, or a stone, and drop it down the chasm.
All right, so you drop it down, and it falls for a bit, and then comes clattering to the ground. You're not sure exactly how far, but a ways. And again, more than 30 feet. Meanwhile, there is a bridge that crosses the gap, but I'm sure I don't need to tell you that it looks pretty sus. It doesn't seem to be in the best of repair, and looks very much like it might crumble.
I vote the tiny elf goes across first by himself.
I think I should first look for some traps.
I agree with PPOP.
All right, and you
Don't
go.
worry, Akalupa will throw the tiny elf.
You get a +1 to trap fighting, right, Jason?
Yes.
All right, you've got a +10, so that makes it a +11.
Well, no, I just enabled the +1, so that gives me the +10
I see.
perception.
All right. Cool.
So if I
You
were to take the coordinates-
do not see any traps.
All right, I think we're clear on the traps, Dan, but I still don't trust the construction of this bridge.
Real quick. If I were to take the coordinates of the first point being in my hand, and the coordinates of the second point being at the bottom of the chasm, and I multiplied them and added them together, and then got the square root of that.
Are you trying to ask
what
me
would that
whether or not you
distance be?
have just magically discovered triangulation? Because the answer is
Possibly.
no, you do not understand trigonometry.
Okay. Just checking. If that was in my wheelhouse, you know.
Nope. I don't even think you guys have an actual mathematical system. You basically are using tally marks.
Yeah, I think we're like, well, that's about 3 thumbs deep.
Yeah, you'd have to like measure it in Akalupus. You'd be like, okay, that's like 12 Akalupus, or maybe like 50 Manawanuis.
That's hilarious.
Akalupu still says the tiny light elf should go across first.
The tiny light elf is on the horse.
She get off the horse.
Uh-oh.
She okay?
I guess. She was whining. I gave her like a big old piece of the sausage.
She might have got it stuck in her throat for a little bit.
That's what I was worried about. I thought she was like trying to breathe or something. Out of here. We're all good.
Crisis averted.
Crisis averted. But no, Manawa Nui is on the on PPOP. So if anything, it should be the what's his name? Baby. Are you looking for your phone? It was in the can, so I put it in my pocket to give to you. Anywho, I vote that Akalupu goes first.
Yeah, Akalupu is gonna weigh the least, so he can test, see if it feels unstable for the horses.
Alright, Akalupa's going across.
All right. How much do you weigh? It's gotta be like a good 200, 250 pounds, right?
Yeah, probably something like that.
All right, let me just roll something here. All right, so
Sounds
Akalupu, you get to about where you are now. Give me a reflex save.
Always a good thing.
Oh yeah, always.
13.
All right. So the ground underneath you starts to give way, and a large chunk of it slides away into the darkness below, and you just barely manage to grab onto the edge, but you're now hanging on to a crumbling bridge.
Akalupu, no!
Akalupu, on your way down. Count the time and tell us your weight.
Alright, what do I roll to try to pull myself up?
That would be, I think, what's climb? That's athletics, right?
Oh, sound
Let me
right?
check.
Yes, athletics.
$21.
All right, so you are able to pull yourself up. Now you have a
Yes.
choice. Do you go the rest of the way across, or do you go back?
I feel like I'm far enough along. I'm just gonna go the rest of the way across.
All right, so you combat roll across the bridge. The bridge is now even more sus than it was before, and it has a chunk missing out of it right where Akalupu was.
Oh,
All
no,
right.
if only somebody had tied a rope around Akalupu, then they'd have a rope across.
Do we have rope?
That's what I was about to ask.
I don't know. I feel like we've had rope at one point.
I don't think so.
Oh no, wait! Akalupu researched ropes. That was like one of his things last time. So yes, Akalupu definitely has ropes.
Akalupu, you have all the ropes.
Is there anything on the side? I mean, it's kind of too bad that, like, I don't know, Akalupu can't really see anything because, like,
Oh.
he has no light.
What's the range of the mage hand spell?
Mage Hand, you need to be... So, because yours is not like the full unicorn version, it's weaker. And so it needs to basically be something you could use your normal hands to reach. Like, it's a little further than that, but it's pretty much like the squares adjacent to you.
But not across the gap, yeah.
Yeah.
Could I cast Ray of Frost on the bridge and, like, freeze all the rocks together?
You could cast Ray of Frost on the bridge.
Won't that destroy the bridge?
Only if the ice melts.
Won't the
Okay.
force of impact from the spell that does the initial damage?
So we need to get a mirror, reflect the spell into the bridge so that the mirror takes the most brunt of the force of the spell, reflecting the harmless magic onto...
Can Akalupu have light?
No, Akalupu is all the way over there.
Yeah, and light is a touch spell. However, you can, do the same thing, put it on something and then throw it to Akalupu.
I don't know, he's gonna pick up a bone, cast light, and throw it to Akalupu.
Alright, athletics.
It's like, what, 35 feet?
I feel like somebody else should throw it.
Manawanui's already doing it. 18.
Alright, you throw it across Akalupu, you can catch it, it's not that hard.
Yay.
Alright, so Manawanui is no longer emitting light. Akalupu.
Well, PPOP's emitting light, isn't he?
Correct. At least he should have been. I don't know why he's not anymore.
I have been.
Are you? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm giving off light.
Alright, so yes. PPOP is still emitting light. And then Akalupu is now emitting light. Save. All right. Should be updated now.
Alright.
Looks good.
Is there anything around this side that Akalupu could tie a rope to?
Not that you can see from there, at least.
Does the rest of the team have ropes, or is it just Akalupu?
I don't know. Akalupu, have you shared your rope supply?
Probably.
Alright, well, Manawanui
Like, are people even bothering to carry rope? Because rope was mostly a thing that you've been using for, like, fishing and on your boat and whatnot.
I definitely don't have rope, personally.
Yeah, and I can't imagine, you know, a tiny little Manawanui carrying any rope. So, pretty sure Akalupu has all the rope.
Alright, Manawanui... Manawanui's going to send Reginald over to grab part of the rope and carry back.
That doesn't help if there's nothing on the other side to tie it.
Silly pea.
You're on the other
Tie it.
side, strong man.
Yeah.
Akalupu can't carry unicorns.
Akalupu could carry...
Then I'll just have to jump with the gap.
Yeah, but like, let's have Manawanui get over there first.
Akalupu
And then Sammy.
gives
Or
the
Sammy
end of
then
the rope
Manawanui.
to the Reginald.
Oh, that's smart, in case I break the bridge.
Yeah. So, the... Manawanui's going to go over first to make sure it's safe for Sammy. Like, for people of our weight class. While holding onto the rope. Or he's tied the rope around his... I'm sorry. Manawanui has tied the rope around Manawanui's waist. And he's going to try to cross.
Alright, let me just roll something here.
Manawanui is a very light girl.
Alright, so, unfortunately though, despite your being a wayfish individual, you know, roll bad.
Did I mention that?
So
Manawanui's
now you are on a crumbling section of the bridge.
Like how? Like is it like falling right at
It
this
is
moment?
currently falling out from under your feet. So reflex save.
Okay. Don't Lord, I'm just kidding. Oh shoot! I only got a 12.
All right, yeah, you definitely are falling into the pit.
Do I not get like a buff from having a rope tied around me?
Akalupu rolled a 21 for strength.
All right. I'll also need a reflex save from Akalupu.
$24.
All right. So luckily, you are able to catch him pretty quick after he falls. But still, you know, coming to a sudden stop with a rope tied around your waist, not the most comfortable of things. So, Akalupu, or Manawanui, you take 3 points of damage as the rope bites into your, wherever you have tied it. I assume your waist.
Yes.
And then Akalupu is easily able to just, like, drag you the rest of the way back up and get you on his side.
Whee! Can Manawanui at this point take the light source back or no?
Yeah, you can recast it at any point onto something new.
Manawanui is going to recast light source onto something he's holding. That they're holding.
Let me remove light from Akalupu. Put light on Manawanui. Alright, light is updated.
Please. I just know that I can see farther, which is, you know.
So it's almost like you shouldn't have be hugging all of the light right next to you.
Alright, Yasuka is going to just fly across with Sammy. So that's the thing she could do, but nobody asked.
Oh, right. I don't have control over Reginald.
That's weird. All right, let me see. Details controlled by no one. So why? If I drop a new Reginald, will that fix it? Who controls this Reginald? Yes, that one you can control. There you go. The other one was actually an imposter the whole time. That's why he disappeared into the vents earlier.
PPOP, do you want us to throw you the rope? Because if you fall, I think all of us might be able to actually hold you up.
Or, PPOP, do you want to use your magic ring to just spider horse across the wall next to the pit?
I could still use the ring as a spider horse?
Yes. I looked at the rules, and there's no reason you wouldn't be able to, so I'm going to say yes.
Oh, I was assuming that. No, because I still have fingers, even though I have hooves.
Well, so the ring gives you... the ring doesn't, like... Let me check to make sure I'm remembering correctly. If I remember correctly, the ring doesn't physically do anything. It just gives you an effect of a spell. And the spell says that it gives you a climb speed and it affects your hands or feet, which would include hooves.
Let's go.
It's kind of disturbing to watch him climb over the walls. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, so you can definitely spider horse across the wall on the side, and you definitely could have just had Mono Anui like hold on tight while you did that.
Spider horse does whatever a spider horse does.
Yep. Turns out you guys had everything you needed to easily surmount that obstacle and just forgot. Like, you know, the first time you met Yasuka, she was flying. That's just a thing she can do.
All about the friends we meet on the way, though.
Exactly.
And we need to feel like real adventurers.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so you guys come up to the other side of the hallway. Yeah, you find yourselves in front of a large double door, wide enough for two unicorns to easily walk through abreast. The entire thing is decorated with a kind of an Aztec motif. There appears to be a figure in the center who is kind of it's hard to make out whether they are just like really weird, some sort of weird monster, or just like portrayed in a very stylized manner. And then you can see around him there are these various worshippers who appear to be bowing down to him. And then in the very center, directly underneath the central figure, there appears to be an altar, and there is a sacrificial victim tied down to the altar. At least you assume it's a sacrificial victim. Maybe it's just someone who likes being tied to altars. You never know.
Could happen. Is there any writing that might be discernible?
Nothing that you can read, and if you ask Yasuka, she can't read it either. It does not appear to be the unicorn language.
Does the door
something much older?
Trapped.
That's a good question for PPOP.
Hey, PPOP.
Let's take a look.
Door look fishy to you?
All right, let's roll that. You do not see any traps.
Looks good to me.
All right.
Well, I was a little distracted checking out my sticky hooves. Let me double check just to be safe.
All right, rolling again. You do not see any traps.
All right, yeah, pretty sure there's no traps.
All right.
All right, so you go up to the traps. The traps.
To the traps.
Yes, you walk up to the traps and immediately get, it's a spike pit that drops out from under you. Then you get poison darts shot at you, after which the pit falls into a secondary pit that's full of snakes, and then immediately a boulder falls on you. Except there's nowhere to run because you're in a pit, so it just crushes you to jelly.
Well, that was a fun campaign.
Right. But no, you walk up to the door, and you can see the three figures that are worshiping this creature. One on the left, one on the right, and one above. The one on the left seems to be wearing a fancy headdress and gown. The one on the right seems to be standing in front of a very large building, and the one above has a small army of tiny figures behind it. And then you can see slots that you presumably insert something into by each of these figures.
As a quick question, what does the sacrificial victim look like?
It looks humanoid, which is unusual. This is a unicorn island after all. But given the art style, everything is highly stylized. Like, you don't know if this person is some sort of a hippopotamus monkey or if that's just the way the art style makes them look.
Not evidently, one of us.
Yes, no, it's a spitting image of Akalupu, actually.
I knew it. We gotta kill Akalupu, guys. Guys.
No, unless one of you looks like a hippopotamus monkey, then no. So maybe it's Mr. Cocoa Buttface or whatever you named your monkey friend.
Oh, Cannibal? What was his name? It had something to do with cannibals, wasn't it?
It wasn't cannibals. Cocoa Buddy.
Cocoa Buddy. Oh, that's right. Okay. Alright. Mama Nui is going to insert... Well, wait a minute. Is there anything that looks like a spot for, water?
Not particularly.
So, anything that looks like it's a spot for a hammer?
Not particularly. All of them are round. Kind of like, hand chopping hole sized.
Oh! Hey, Akalupa.
No.
Mama Nui is going to grab a bone and put the bone in the hole.
All right. Nothing happens. Well, I mean, the bone goes into the hole. So,
yeah,
you're now boning a door if that makes you feel better.
It does. Guys, I think we got to put our hands in.
How many slots are there?
Three slots.
All right, one hand each.
All right, here we go. 1, 2,
So
3.
Who exactly is putting their hand in which hole? And also, Akalupu is 15 feet away from the door right now.
Akalupu? Get off of Sentinel.
Get off of Manawa Nui!
Manawa Nui is small enough. She can fit into the corner. What were the descriptions of the holes?
All right, so there are 3 holes. The left side hole is a figure in a fancy hat and gown. The right side hole is a figure in front of a very fancy looking building. And the top hole is next to a figure who has a small army behind them.
Well, which one? Do any ones specifically feel like they're calling to me?
Akalupu's gonna put his hand in the hole on the top.
All right. And you had the hammer at this point, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Oh shoot.
Can you repeat the symbols?
So the left side is a person in a figure in a fancy hat and gown. The right side is a person in front of a very like a large, fancy, kind of officialish looking building. And then the one in the top is a figure with a small army behind them.
Manawanui's gonna put his hand in the left one because he's on the left side of the door.
And I've got the right one.
All right. So then the tears are on the left side, the hammer is in the top, and the plaque is on the right side. All right. So there is a loud. So you reach in, and it's really kind of like filled with dust and grime. It's very dry, as everything else has been. Very uncomfortably though, as you reach in, you can both see and feel this dark miasma that has been covering the ground and causing all of these bones to clutch at you as you pass. Is now pouring across your arms. And you can feel it just like it feels like spider webs if they weren't sticky. Just like crawling along your arms, brushing against. I mean, this is only a factor for Pipiopia and Akalupu, but brushing against your arm hairs, as if hundreds of little tiny insects were crawling along you. And as you reach back, you eventually find what it feels like a handle that you're able to grasp onto. And then you pull on said handle, and there is a loud clicking noise. And luckily, it is not an arm chopper. Or at least not anymore. Maybe it was supposed to be. But instead, you feel some sort of a dull object slam into your wrists. And
Yeesh. We should have brought some cannon fodder.
Let's see. All right, minimum damage. So Akalupu and Pipiopi, you take 5 points of damage.
Yeah,
Ouch. That was unexpected.
Yeah. You're not sure whether the trap just like failed or it was only supposed to be a slap on the wrist or what. But yeah, luckily not a big deal. Like this isn't going to get past your stamina health at all. But
they're taxing us.
It definitely hurts.
You gotta pay the troll toll to get through this door.
But then the door does not move.
Dang.
But it was only Akalupu and Pipiopi who got hit.
Alright, I'll switch to the right.
Switch her up.
All right, so you switch her up and once again pull on the handles, and cringing, hoping not to get smacked this time. And there is once again a loud click, but then no pain. And the door you can feel has come loose.
PPOP winces, expecting the pain.
Wait, so Manawanui didn't feel the pain either?
Neither time.
Okay, well, he's not gonna. Manawanui's not complaining. But
Yeah, for once, Manawanui is not the main one who took damage, even though, you made up for it by falling and getting jerked on the rope
yeah,
earlier.
that's true. But still, it's interesting.
All right, so
Interesting.
the door now gives like a slight movement, so you can feel that something has come loose, and there's the tiniest crack open in the center. So it's a double door, right? So the center has opened they've opened just slightly, so there is a tiny crack. And this dark miasma is now spilling through that crack in copious quantities.
Mono Anui's gonna push the door open.
You're
and
gonna
hear some sort of
You're doing what? Pushing the door
weird
open?
cry. Yes.
All right. So just like pushing it all the way open.
Well, I suppose.
All right. So you push the door open, and as you do, this dark miasma just kind of floods out, and you can now see inside. And you can see the room. It opens into a large room. Thankfully, this miasma, though dark, is not entirely opaque, so you can still see with some difficulty. Mono Anui, with your low light vision, you are the only one who can really see all the way to the center of the room very well. And you can see there in the center an enormous pulsating purple mass. The entire floor of the area is covered in the same jumble of bones as we're outside. Yeah. Presumably, that would be late stage capitalism.
Well,
Mono Anui, what can you see?
there's some giant amorphous, like solid mist.
Nah,
This is exactly according to plan.
it's not a mist. The thing in the middle of the room is a goopy blob.
Oh, okay. There's some giant slime monster in there that looks sad and happy, and I can't really see that middle face, but it's got a face. Has many heads.
Yeah, and then the doors, slowly creak open under their own weight as you've kind of shoved them open, and then they end up swinging all the way around and tapping into the walls, stopping there. But when that noise happens, you see a very clear reaction from the creature. It kind of ripples, and it starts sending little snaking pseudopod tentacles in your direction.
I say you attack it right now. And what do you fellows think? I have my crossbow. I got my ray of frost.
All right. It is time for initiative. So, PPOP, I'm assuming stealth?
Yes, please.
All right. Is anyone else using anything other than perception?
Can Mono Anui use stealth?
Yes, Mono Anui can use stealth.
And that is what he shall do. Well, every time I've rolled stealth, it's
All right.
even though it's higher than my perception.
So, PPOP, you are up first.
Ooh.
Wow, Akalupu must have rolled really badly.
Okay, so my move speed is 40 in horse form, but it's rough terrain, so that's cut in half. Is that right?
Correct.
Just as a quick question, my spells didn't recharge, correct?
No, you have to do a long rest to recharge your spells.
Okay, I thought so.
Okay, I'm going to move over there. And then I'm going to see this creepy, weird mess, and then I'm going to hide behind this pillar. And I'm going to prepare an action that if I see any tendrils come around the side of this column, I'm going to slash it with my Kopesh.
Cool. And then I would assume those two movement actions were sneaks, correct?
Oh, does that have it again?
I'm gonna not make it have it again in this case, because I think going down to 10-foot move speed is well, I don't know. You're going across bones. Maybe it does make sense. So yeah, if you
so
want to
then-
sneak across the bones, then yes.
Okay, so I would end up here after 3 moves, so I would have no prepared actions. That's what I want.
All right, and then I need you to roll stealth for me.
Stealth. I crit failed.
All right,
No.
I got it.
I'm here pointing that.
Okay.
All right, I rolled a 4, so that's a 15.
All right, so that is unfortunately not good enough. It rolled an 18 on its perception check. So you don't fall on your face or anything, but you're like, you almost get there, and you're just settling up behind the pillar there when you accidentally bump a bone that was like kind of, nestled on one of the cracks on the pillar, and it falls down with a clatter that just feels unimaginably loud in this just dense silence surrounding you, like when Pippin, knocked the bucket down the well, except
Yes.
slightly less prolonged. And you see the tentacles kind of change directions, and they start snaking toward you.
Well, shit.
All right, so that is Pipiopi's turn. Anawanui, you are up.
Well, Marmaduke is. Let me see. What's the range on this weapon?
If you're talking about your crossbow, it's got plenty of range.
Okay. Since this is gelatinous, does my Ray of Frost have any extra effects?
It's a good question. That was the end.
I know. I was kind of looking for more.
Nope, that was it. That's all the information I'm going to give you on a question like that. If you want to know more about the creature, you need to roll an appropriate knowledge skill. And then, depending on your roll, you can learn things about the creatures.
That is what I shall do. Would Boneyard War be relevant here?
Would this thing count? Not really.
That would be like arcane. Or
What?
nature? Would that just be arcane or nature?
That would be a nature roll for a slime like this. Boneyard lore would be for stuff about the spirit world. So, like, if this were a creature from the spirit world that had gotten out.
Oh.
Right. So, what was your roll?
22. A 22.
22. All right. That's good enough for a couple pieces of information. What are you looking for?
Well, first things first. What effect would Ray of Frost have any additional effects on the particular slime?
So you're asking if this slime has a weakness to frost damage? Is that the question?
Yeah.
No.
What do I know what the slime's weakness is?
It does not have any damage weaknesses, so there's no particular type of damage that does extra damage to it. And that is your 2 questions. So that was
Okay.
1 action.
Well then, I'm going to cast Ray of Frosting. And we'll see how that goes. 18.
All right, that will hit.
And then damage of 9.
All right, 9 damage. Let's go ahead and stick that on there. And that's frost damage, right? All right, so it takes 9 points of damage. And that is all of your actions. Yeah, cold damage. Cool. Well, that is Manawanui's turn. Yasuka is up. So Yasuka is going to... she's gonna start out by casting Haste. What's the range on Haste? 30 feet. Alright, and it doesn't say it has to have line of sight. So technically, I think she could probably hit PPOP depending on how close he is. Nice. Alright, so she is going to cast Haste on PPOP. Which probably shouldn't work, but the spell, nowhere on the spell does it say it requires line of sight. It just says range of 30 feet. So unless there's like some sub-rule somewhere that says all spells require line of sight, which I don't think is true, you are going to gain the quickened condition, PPOP. So you can use an extra action each round, but you can only use that extra action for strike and stride skills. But that's like the 2 best ones, right? Moving and hitting.
Yeah.
And she's gonna use her other action to move. She has the same 40-foot speed, so she's gonna go here. Oh, and when you shot the slime, a couple of its tendrils are still snaking off toward PPOP, but a very large and aggressive one is definitely heading straight toward Manawanui now. All right, so that is her turn. Sammy, of course, is going to cast... oh, did it already get used? Yes, Magic Fang has been used in the last fight, so she can't do that. She is going to cast... Prestidigitation doesn't really help. Tanglefoot. You can dispel magic, but that's not helpful. I guess she's gonna use Produce Flame, which technically can do damage. So if she succeeds at her attack roll, she'll deal 1d4 damage. A whole 1d4 plus her spell casting.
Hey-o.
All right. So that is the best thing that she even can do. So let's see if she can hit this. Flame. All right, a 24. That is actually a crit. Right? What's this thing's AC? Yes, that is a crit. All right. So she might actually do some somewhat legit damage here. All right. Critical damage, don't fail us. 14. Wow. That's pretty good for a cantrip.
Right.
All right, and that is Sammy. Oh, I guess she can move. She is gonna move up and hide around this corner and hope that the slime doesn't kill her. And that she can support her team from the back. All right, so that's now Sammy's turn. All right, so late stage capitalism is up. It's gonna move like that. And yeah, those pseudopod tentacles have definitely reached PPOP. Let's see if it's managed to reach Mono Anui as well. Alright, that goes at 10 feet. Not quite enough, so it has not reached Mono Anui yet. But PPOP,
Cool.
you're definitely in for it now. It's going to go ahead and make an attack on you.
Oh, dear.
Let me check something real quick. Alright, so that does work the way I thought it did. Alright, so it's going to make an attack now. It moved, so it doesn't have all three of its actions. Hey, PPOP, does a 31 hit?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't gather the sarcasm in that question?
Yes, it hits.
I'm pretty sure that's a crit.
You said 31?
Correct.
Is exactly 10 a crit?
Yes.
Dang.
This is gonna hurt. Alright.
All because I double rolled under a 5 on stealth.
Right?
My highest fucking category.
Alright, so PPOP, you take 18 damage.
Ouch.
And it now has grabbed a hold of you, so you are grappled. Similar to what happened with the bourgeoisie. Alright. And that's its turn. Luckily, it missed its second attack. So, Akalupu, you're up.
I think,
Oh, and I should describe the attack a little bit more. So it comes at you, this pseudopod is slowly like reaching for you around, and then as it gets close, it kind of slaps you and wraps around. And so part of the damage is just from the force of being hit, bludgeoning damage, but then also it appears to be made of a similar to the bourgeoisie, except so the bourgeoisie was only corrosive in the pit that it made, that it dropped you guys into. This thing's entire body is like that.
hmm.
If I move here, is that like, am I close enough to hit the tendrils that are coming toward Mono Anui?
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going to take one turn to move, one turn to go into raging. And then can I try to hit it with the hammer?
Yeah, you could definitely try to hit it with the hammer.
All right, I'm gonna try to hit it with the hammer. What do I need to roll?
An attack. It's gonna be a melee attack.
So, like, would that be the same as my fist?
Yes.
$11.
All right. That is sadly not enough to hit.
Okay, that's all my turns.
Alrighty. So, next round, we are back to PPOP.
Tell it not to be evil.
That's pretty much all I can do at this point. I stab the corner of the plaque into the tentacle that's holding me.
Alright, go ahead and roll an attack.
Oh. Attack. 26.
Alright, that'll hit. That is also a crit. And
Oh, wait. Crit. 16 damage.
from a plaque?
That was from my fist.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. I was wondering where you were getting the damage numbers. So that works. All right. 16 damage. And yeah, so you stab the plaque into its tentacle. And you can see it like recoils and lets go of you.
Haha! So I'm no longer grabbed?
Correct. You are now no longer grappled.
Alright, so I am going to... Can I, like, sprint?
No, on difficult ground, you cannot sprint.
Okay,
Or
so...
difficult terrain, I should say.
I'm just gonna, like, frickin' bail. Go back for some health packs.
I need heat.
Alright.
Oh, wait. Retcon that, because I have 4 actions, not 3.
Correct. So you still
Okay.
have 3 remaining.
Yes, okay, so I'm actually gonna take one swing with my rapier. No, it's not a rapier, it's a Kopesh.
Yeah. So instead of piercing damage, it's doing slashing damage, but we're just gonna we're gonna otherwise pretend. So yeah,
this
it is
is
a
second attack, right? So
correct.
16.
That'll hit.
Alright. And there's a lot of bonuses on this one. I get the acid and the cold bonus, right?
Yes. Make sure you roll them separately, though. I need to know how much of each one.
Oh. Wait, where did it go? Okay. And it's not flat-footed to me, so I don't get the sneak attack, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
So that would be... Oh, freaking 1. Okay, so the acid did 3,
Okay.
the cold did 6, and the sword did 1.
All right.
And, 1 plus 4 is 5, so that's 14.
So it was 6 points of slashing?
It was 5 points of slashing, 6 points of cold, 3
Okay.
points of acid.
Cool. All right, so you slash at it with your Kopesh. And remember, that now means that the acid on it is gone
Kablooey.
because it has been expended. Let's go ahead and get a break roll.
/R. Very nice.
It does not break.
And I was like, oh no.
Yeah. All right, so it does not break. You have 2 actions remaining.
So now I'm gonna get the hell out of Dodge.
All right, do you have the movement for that? Because you can go 20 feet.
But I have 2 actions, so I can go 40.
Right. You could only go 10 earlier because you were also, like, sneaking.
I was sneaking, yes.
That's right. And stealth is over now.
Stealth is no longer on the table. Sammy, I need your healing.
All right. That ends.
I'm gonna die.
Manawanui, you are up.
Alright, well, Mawanui is gonna be like, He's gonna take some of the drops of the bourgeoisie, tears of the bourgeoisie, you know what I mean, the Frenchies. Yeah,
that's what Karl Marx meant. He was just like, when he's talking about the bourgeoisie, he meant all French people.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, let's face it, okay, guys. I'm not gonna. Well. I'm sorry. Is your name Karl Marx? I don't think so. So Mono's gonna take the tears of the 1%. Some of them, not all of them. He doesn't want to use them all up.
Oh yeah, I forgot a thing that happened at the end of PPOP's turn. So after you slashed at it, the creature it looked kind of annoyed and started jiggling around a whole bunch. And then at the end of your turn, this happened.
Oh, it got tiny. Oh. Scream.
So let me go ahead and just add another one of these to the stage.
To be fair, they're smaller.
And then just make a couple changes here.
Real quick, is there anything right there, or is like that just decorative?
It looks like a blood fountain.
Let me see. So that would be 14. Alright, this is going to take a minute while I get them set up again. This one also goes like that. Gonna be this. All right. There are now 2 of this creature.
That seems bad. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a little bit more scared.
I think they'll be easier to kill. Because they're smaller, too. And look, this guy's already abandoning ship. Look at him. He's like, nah, I'm getting out of here. See, that guy's sad, because it's like, oh, where are you going? He's like, I'm getting out of here.
There you go.
No bueno.
Alright, Manawanui, it's your turn. You got 3 actions.
As a quick question. Is there anything significant that I notice about this thing in the middle?
Oh, you mean the big bloody altar?
Yeah.
I mean, you notice a big bloody altar.
But, like, do I notice, like, anything on the big bloody altar?
What?
Anything that, like, might make me think, I don't know, I just do this and that, and everything will be okay.
So it is a large stone altar. It's covered in blood. There appear to be a few bones there. The creature has been kind of like covering the entire thing. Now that it's split, you can actually kind of see it. Before this point, the creature has been more or less obscuring the entire thing. It has similar decorations to those on the door. I mean, I can't answer the question, hey, what's the solution to the puzzle? So if you're asking, is there anything that tells me what to do here? I can't answer that for you. I can only describe what's there. You need to come to your own conclusions.
If I see it there, right? Do I like? Is this something where I could potentially like sacrifice somebody? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a bloody altar. I feel like the answer is yes. You could definitely sacrifice someone there.
Here's what I think, y'all. I think Akalupu needs to go up here. I think I need to go over here. And I think PP Open needs to go over there. That's just my thought. Huh?
Why?
Well, because that's where our hands were in the
What if we
thing,
use
right?
the blood from Akalupu's bloodstone to like fake a sacrifice?
Yes. Akalupu.
You can take blood out of the bloodstone.
I think you're muted, Anna. And yeah, you guys at least are not aware of any way to get blood out of a bloodstone.
I can't take like a micro nap and talk to Topple, can I? Hold on, guys. I know exactly what to do.
She's like, guys, I think my narcolepsy's coming on. This will solve everything.
No, but you remember what happened right in the doors, right? We had I was over here with the crown or the hat, I guess.
Needed to be to the right.
You needed to be to the right?
Yep.
Oh, you need to be to the right, and PP Open needed to be above. Right?
The
Correct.
door was.
Yeah. So I think PP Open needs to go over there, Akalupu needs to go over there, and I need to go over here. But that's just a theory.
A game theory. A dungeon theory.
What do you think, friends?
All right. Well, you've run out of free banter time, so Monowanui, you're gonna need to take your turn. You can talk again on someone else's turn, but you can only talk so much.
Is going to leave his friends with those thoughts, dip the crossbow bolt in the Tears of the 1%, and shoot it at this fella right there.
All right.
Alright. No, don't let me down. I got an 18.
That'll hit.
Ah, you kidding? Okay, I got a 3.
All right. 3 damage. All right. And remember, you're going to need to use an action if you want to reload your crossbow.
This is true. But did I notice anything happening to it when I shot it?
It looks pretty mad.
The Tears of the 1% didn't seem to.
Its reaction is more or less the same as when it got hit by, PPOP earlier, either time, because he hit it twice, both with the with the plaque and with his Kopesh.
Alright, well, Monowanui is going to take his remaining 2 turns to go. Let me make sure I measured that correctly.
Yeah, so you have a 25-foot move speed, so having that and rounding down,
I actually have a 30-foot move speed.
you have a 10-foot move speed.
No, I've got.
You've got 30.
30.
You're right. So rounding down 15. Yeah. I forgot you're an elf. Light on those tootsies.
Here. All right, so me and my Knief ears are going to go right there.
All right.
I'm committing to this 3 before I know if anybody else is.
Yeah.
Can I make a move for Reginald? Or no?
Yeah, you can move Reginald. Reginald just moves on your turn.
But so I can't make Reginald like fly up here to see what's up here, can I?
He has 2 actions. You can use them on your turn. He should have a listed move speed.
He has 25. Is he inhibited?
No, because he's not touching the ground. He is not slowed down by the difficult terrain. The bones are not clutching at his feet. Now, you can't. You have to move him from where he was before. He doesn't just magically move with you and then get 2 turns.
Well, he rides on my shoulder, you see, and then he flies.
I'll let you do that. In this case, I'll let you do that.
And there's no way I could give him a light source, is there?
Not with the action economy that you have remaining, because it requires... What is light? Is that a 2-action spell?
Well, I already have light cast.
Yeah, but you've cast it on something already. You wouldn't be able to, like, switch it over. And yeah, light requires 2 actions.
Okay. But I wouldn't be able to, like, give him the thing I've cast on,
no.
Would I? Okay.
Because I'm assuming that you cast it on the staff again, right? That's been your go-to. So since you didn't say anything else,
my go-to.
I'm going to assume it's the staff, and the staff is too big for Reginald to carry.
Okay. Well, next turn we'll do so. Because if I move him, like, I could move him, like, clear over to here, and I wouldn't be able to see anything. Is that correct?
You can't see what Reginald sees. It would move the light to a new location.
Well, we're gonna have him move here. Yeah, that doesn't change my vision.
Yeah, no. If you want to do anything, you have to give him something with light or cast light on him, and then he becomes a moving light source. Like, the only difference is not you see anything different, it's just light is in a different place, if that makes sense.
Well, for his last action, he's gonna come back to me.
All right, but I'll give you a free perception check. Normally, like, if you're doing a seek action, that costed an action, but we're just gonna give you a free perception check. Go ahead and roll it for me.
Alrighty, don't let me down. Don't let me down, Matawanui. Shoot, I got an 8.
All right. Yeah, so you don't see much. Must be all this miasma in the air. It's making it hard to see things. All right, and then on the end of your turn, something happens again.
Oh shoot, guys, we gotta kill it. Oh no, it's just because I hit it, I think.
All right,
maybe.
So that's now that. Let me add another one to the stage. I think these guys actually should be just a little bit smaller.
Wait,
That's too
what if the
small,
blood
though.
is powering it? Akalupu, you should suck up all the blood into your bloodstone.
So now this guy was number 1. All right.
Akalupu, do you copy?
That's good.
Roger, 10-4.
Roger.
Okay, and then new guy.
Stage Capitalism 3 and Late Stage Capitalism 1 appear to be like, well, Late Stage Capitalism 3 seems to be dead. Oh no, there he is.
All right. 10-4, good buddy. All right, so that is it for Manawanui's turn. Yasuka is up. So Yasuka is going to do...
Yeah.
another haste. This time she's going to cast it on Akalupu. So Akalupu, you are now able to do an extra stride or attack action each round. And then she's gonna move up 20 feet, so 3, 4. All right, and that is it for her turn. Sammy's up. So Sammy is going to attempt some battle medicine on Akalupu, who's feeling a little worried right now. All right, so she's going to... What? Oh, I need healing. Genji. Yeah. That sounds about right. Just Genji spamming I need healing in chat. The other thing, yes. Genji, like, there's two things you'll hear out of Genji's is I need healing and nano me.
You're not wrong. I like it every time I need healing in this game. That's exactly what my mind goes to.
All right, so Sammy just barely pulls off the heal. So that's gonna be 2d8 of hit points back. She only has one charge left on her heal spell, so she's kind of saving that. Maybe she should have used it. All right, 6 hit points back. That's actually most of the hit points you're missing, though.
For PPOP, right?
Correct. He's healing PPOP.
Plus 6.
All right. And then it's definitely not worth using the heal spell for the 5 hit points you're still missing. And then all that stamina you're going to have to use a resolve point on. So what else can Sammy do? That was one action. I guess she is going to try produce flame again. It worked really well last time. 18, that's a hit. Sadly, no crit this time. For 9 points of damage, she's gonna cast it on, let's say the one right in front of Yasuka. All right, and that one is now bloodied, meaning it no longer has any stamina health.
Which one is capitalism 1, 2, or 3?
The one directly in front of Yasuka is late stage capitalism number 1. So this is number 1, this is number 2, and this is number 3.
On my UI, it shows that it's down to 1 health.
I would not trust that if I were you. But yes, that is what it will show you.
Interesting.
All right.
Oh, wow.
So that is that turn. All right. So now you see the 3 areas kind of around that Bonawinui actually pointed out. So here, up here, you can't really see it because it's dark, but there is one up there, and over here, 3 large stone. Not monoliths exactly, but kind of like monoliths. Big old stone slabs, like, you know, couple Akalupus high and probably about 1 Akalupu wide. Light up. They have scenes you might remember from the door. They do, in fact, match. So to the left is a person wearing a fancy hat and gown, or robes, I think is how I described it last time. On the right side is a figure standing in front of some very large, very important looking building, and above you is a figure with a small army behind them. You see these symbols start to glow, and the slimes kind of glow in response. I'm just gonna roll a die here for no particular reason. I'm sure that 16 doesn't mean anything whatsoever, so I wouldn't even worry about it.
You know, I just don't even think about it anymore.
All right, one more. All right. And now it is late stage capitalism number 1's turn. So it's gonna move. Can it move? It might not actually be able to. All right, so it's going to attack Yasuka. Let's get some attack rolls here. All right, pretty sure a 24 will hit her. Yes, it does. Luckily, the others are misses. All right, and it is going to do 17 damage, and Yasuka is now grabbed. All right. That is Yasuka's stamina points completely gone. She's now in hit points.
Yeesh.
That is number 1. Number 2, on the other hand, it can move. The speed of 15, is that right? Yes. It's just gonna move down a second time. All right. It's gonna try to roll some pseudopods down toward Manoa Nui. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's more than enough to be able to get to Manoa Nui.
I don't think so. You see there's a pillar in the way, you see?
Yeah, but it's able to kind of reach around the side, even if it has to do that.
No, you see.
All right, so
to the refractionary period of the sun and the curvature of the moon, it just wouldn't work.
alrighty, so 30. Pretty sure that's gonna hit. Is that a crit? Is your AC 20 or lower?
Maybe. That is definitely.
Yes, you have an AC of 17, so that is definitely a crit. All right.
Well, if you're
This
Jewish,
is Guan Hurt.
it's actually 71. So I object, Your Honor.
All right. You take 15 points of damage, Manoa Nui.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought not that I'm challenging it to be worse, but I did expect worse. Not a challenge.
Yeah. All right, so Manoa Nui, you took quite the slapping, and you are now also grappled. So that is its turn. Akalupu, you're up. And remember, you have an extra action now.
You need to get your booty up there. Up here. You just need to go straight down the middle.
I need to go to the right.
No, you need to be up here.
No, I don't. I need to go to the right.
No. PPOP needs to be over here.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, that's right. We've already been through this.
I'm going to do sudden charge. And I'm going to go here on the other side of this pillar.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a bite. $20.
All right, 20 will hit.
7 damage.
Alrighty.
And then how would I roll a spell roll?
A spell roll?
Yes, so I want to use my ring, which has splash, acid splash. But it says I need to make a spell attack, and I don't know what that would be.
Go ahead and roll intelligence for me.
Oh no.
Or like a wisdom save. Yeah, go ahead and roll me a wisdom. Is that a save? Did I make that up? A will save. Roll me a will save. 23?
Yes.
Alright, Akalupa realizes he's throwing acid on an acid monster, and that won't do anything.
Okay. Then I guess I'll just bite it again.
Alright, before you do, though,
You need to get there.
give me a reflex save on the original bite.
11.
Alright. So as you bite into this corrosive monster, it's going to,
You have to.
do some damage. So basically, anytime you hit it with a metal weapon or an unarmed attack, you have to, and luckily none of you have metal weapons, so you don't have to worry about that part. You have to attempt a reflex save, and on failure, you're going to take 2d4 acid damage. So that is 5 damage to Akalupu.
Alright, Akalupa's gonna hit it with the hammer.
No, we need to get up to our stations, guys.
Akalupu is going to go 10 feet.
This foe cannot be defeated by force of arms alone.
Alright, that's all of Akalupu's turns.
Yes, so you moved. Oh, crashing charge was 2 actions, that's right. And then you bit it,
Yes.
and then you moved again. So yeah, that is 4. Okay. I thought you had 1 more. Alright, so now it is this guy's turn. Little late stage capitalism number 2 here. Can he... Well, he's gonna move. Maybe? Yeah, he's gonna move. 1, 2. There we go. And then he's going to try to smack some sense into Akalupu. Let's go ahead and get an attack on that. Alright, Akalupu has an AC of 15. And luckily, all misses. Alright, so that's its whole turn. Creepy Opie, you are up. You've been healed. If you would like to get half of your stamina points back, you can use one of your actions and an RP for that.
Yes. Or
You could make a run for it to the top.
right, but won't that be more likely to succeed with more effective hit points?
Maybe.
Let's see. So you have a 40-foot move speed. How far do you need to get? You need to get all the way. Come on, scroll. And all the way up here. So
Yeah, that's exactly right. For 4 actions.
Yeah. Technically, you have to go around the slimes, but you could still make it.
All right. I actually love that plan.
Let's do it.
Centaur form. Ultimate move. Gallop.
Now, I try not to do this too much, but I will give you a suggestion here, just because it sounds like fun. You could spider horse onto the roof and avoid all of the difficult terrain.
I was gonna spider horse over the blood altar.
So the blood altar is not a huge difficult. It's not that hard to get over. Like, it's probably, I mean, it's the size of like a dining room table.
I mean, yeah, I like your suggestion, but I feel like that's a further distance. Oh, but I would get to avoid the penalty.
Correct. So you would
Yeah.
no longer be in difficult terrain, so you
So
could
it'd be
move
like-
your full. Well, what's your climb speed actually? Because that would make a difference. What does the ring say it gives you? Because if it's more than 10 feet, or more than 20 feet, it's a gain. If it's not, then you would actually lose speed by doing that.
Where's the climb speed? Half land speed, so 20.
Okay, so it's exactly the same. It would just get you onto the roof.
Yeah, so I'm gonna gallop for it.
Nice.
Ka-shing! What's up, slimes? I'm coming for you. Just kidding. Ka-shing! See you later. Ka-shing!
And luckily, you're one of the people who has light on them, so you're not like completely in the dark.
Wait, did we decide that this was the 80 or is it the next one up?
One further was the 80, I think. Go. Because yeah, it was from here to here to. So I mean, you're at the thing. You can't go any further. Technically, you could.
Yeah.
You have the movement for one further.
Perfect.
All right. So you
that's all my
approach the
actions.
pillar. You can see it is still glowing. Like I said before, it has that same motif of a figure standing in front of a small army of, other smaller figures behind them. And there is a small alcove, just the perfect size for your plaque to go. Like a
Excellent.
a little depression that looks just custom made for it.
Am I allowed to put it in at the end, at the conclusion of my turn, or do I have to wait
No.
for the next round?
Yeah, unfortunately, you're going to need an interact action to do that, which will require you to have one action remaining.
Gotcha. Well, I'll shout over to Manawanu that her hunch was correct.
Well, you don't know yet.
Your hunch was correct, Manawanu.
All right, so that is the end of Pipiopi's turn. Manawanui, you're up. You are grabbed by a tentacle right now. So you are currently grappled.
Would the best way to get out of that be to like hit it or to try and escape? Like
Again, you're asking questions in ways that I can't answer.
Slash at it. When I slashed it with my Kopesh, it let go of me.
Alright, Marlon is gonna take his dagger.
Oh wait, no, I
Yeah.
slashed it with the plaque. Maybe that wasn't.
Correct. You stabbed it with your plaque, and that's when it let you go. You hit it with the Kopesh after.
Yep. That's when it split. Or
Marlon is gonna dip his little dagger into the tears of the 1% and slash at the monster.
All right, go ahead and roll attack.
15.
All right, that I think hits. Let me see. Yep, that'll hit.
I did 1 damage.
Wow. All right, let me go ahead and deduct that one very important damage.
Did it let me go?
So it does in fact drop you, and additionally, come on, there we go. It splits.
That's a quick question.
So let me add another one of these to the stage. And yes, what is your question?
Could Reginald put the thing in, or no?
You can't see the plaque well enough from this distance to tell the answer.
Alright. Well, I'm going to then move there. And we're gonna hope for the best.
And then this other guy. All right. Everything is now good to go. All right. And then you used your remaining 2 actions to move from down here, right?
Yeah.
You don't have the movement to get there.
I know.
Or no, you had 15. That's right. So you do have the movement because you can move a total of 30. All right. So yeah, you can get there. And luckily in Pathfinder 2nd edition, things don't just have attacks of opportunity by default. Only certain creatures and like classes have that. So moving past this slime does not get you slapped repeatedly. Well, technically it would only slap you once, but still. It sucks when you have to decide, do I want to relocate or do I want to avoid getting slapped again? All right, so you come up to it, and once again, this is the same motif. You know, it's a different drawing. It's got a lot more detail because it's a lot larger. The scene is kind of expanded, but you have a similar image of a figure wearing a fancy hat and gown, and there is, in fact, a little reservoir that could maybe hold liquid.
Well, that's good to know.
All right, so that
Just need
is...
as a quick question, could I take Reginald's turn to attack the thing as Reginald too?
I don't think
Maybe.
Reginald has any attacks. I think we looked last time and he doesn't have any attacks.
Oh, that's right. He has no offense. Can I get him to like 5 circles in the face of the thing to try and distract it?
If you would like Reginald to get slapped, and by extension, you might have to use that feat that makes it so that you take damage for him.
Well, considering Reginald has more hit points than me.
But yes, you can have Reginald fly between you and the monster, which he's already kind of doing.
Okay, well then we're just gonna leave it.
And then if you would like to like roll something for it, you could roll a diplomacy to kind of like, or an intimidation to like try and get its attention.
What about like performance?
It's all the same number.
It's
So.
not as different as acrobatics, but
And stealth.
and stealth. Oh, and stealth.
But no,
Sneaky
neither of those 2 works. So just roll one of the ones with a +3.
17.
All right. It seems to have gotten the creature's attention.
All right, Akalupu, put that hammer in.
All right.
You know what you gotta say, right?
Do we want to go ahead and wrap up now? We have been going for a while. Or do we want to keep going through this combat? So we've been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes, more or less.
Oh my goodness, time flies.
Right? Right. Any opinions? Keep going? Wrap up?
I'm good to keep going.
I'm good. I'm good either way.
Hadassah doing all right?
Yeah, well, she's just awake now, so yeah.
Is
not being-
Anna still there?
She is. She's like staring off into the distance.
Why don't we wrap up?
Do we need to wrap up, Anna? Are you still alive?
No, I'm fine. I was watching the baby.
All right, so you're good to
Making
keep
sure
going?
She didn't stick a microphone down her throat.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. All right,
She's trying to get on a career.
so you're good to keep going as well, Anna?
Yes.
All right.
Sweet.
Then we come up on Yasuka's turn. So
Yes, to kill these SOBs.
she is gonna do her old go-to, Blazing Dive. I kind of want to do it right next to Mono Inui just because it would make me laugh, but I won't. So she's gonna come up and she's gonna slam there. It's a 20-foot emanation, or 10-foot emanation? Yeah, it's a 10-foot emanation, so that won't hit Reginald, but will hit all 3 slimes here. Thus my choice of location. So she's gonna be doing 3d4 bludgeoning plus 3d6 fire, and they get a reflex save to take half. Or not 3, 4d4. 4d4 plus 4d6. For a total of 28 damage to all 3, but they get their reflex saves. So let's see, starting with number 1, which is the guy who's still big. So this one here. Reflex save from you. Reflex, there we go. A 9 is not gonna do it, so it's gonna take full damage. Then number 3. 24 is a success, so number 3 is gonna take half damage. And then number 4. A reflex save from him. And a 25 will also do it. So the big boy takes full damage. The other 2 are going to take half. So 8 to number 1. And then 3 and 4 are going to take 14. All right. Sadly, no kills, but some of them are definitely looking worse for wear at this point. All right. That's Yasuka's turn. Actually, no, she can stab one with her horn. She can reach either of the 2 half ones, so she's just gonna do the one closer to Mono Anui, so that hopefully her little teddy bear doesn't, die again.
Right. The teddy bear is getting quite some holds in it. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. All right, 25. I think that might actually be a crit. Yes, that is a crit. All right, for only 6 points of damage, but that's number 4. And it has exactly 6 points of damage left. So this
Hooray.
one is now dead. And that is now Yasuka's turn. Sammy is up next. What are people doing? I know he's pretty low. What's the range on the heal spell?
I think it's
Heal.
infinite times.
30 feet. Alright, and even though these spells don't say they require line of sight, I mean, they must. It just doesn't make any sense for these not to require line of sight. So going forward, I'm just gonna say that they do, because otherwise it seems stupid.
What is sight really?
So she's gonna do... move 10 feet and get to here. Then another action she get to here. Another action she get to here. And that's her whole turn.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not quite sure where Sammy is until like just now.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I was measuring.
But sadly,
go.
she could not get into range until she had already used too many actions to heal you, so gotta survive one more round, hopefully.
One does not lightly survive.
Alright,
If
so
you're-
number 1 is still alive. So he's gonna go glorping up toward Peepiopi. Alright, so he uses 2 actions to move up toward Peepiopi. He's only got 1 action left to attack with. Let's go ahead and make said attack. Alright, 30's gonna hit you, Peepiopi. Not a crit this time, though.
Not a crit.
Alrighty, so Peepiopi, you are going to take 12 points of damage.
Oh, close one.
Right? And you are now grappled. That is it for his turn. This other one, thankfully, is being blocked by Yasuka, so Manoanui might survive to see another day. Well, thankfully for Yasuka, or for Manoanui, Yasuka is less thankful. Especially since it doesn't need to move, so it's going to get 3 attacks. Alright, so... Oof, that's going to be some damage. Yeah, that's not pretty.
Stop rolling so well.
2 hits, 30 points of damage. And
Ouch.
Yasuka does not
Is she
have 30
down?
hit points left. So yes, Yasuka is now grappled and dying at wounded 1. Put a little.
Alright, y'all, we just gotta do our thing. Come on, Akalupu.
Alright, so that is its turn. Akalupu, you're up.
You know what time it is, Akalupu.
Alright, Akalupu's gonna move over.
Alright, so same as before, similar scene to what was on the door, person in front of a very important looking building, and there is a symbol at the kind of the what's it called? The point that roofs make? There's a term for that. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, right? Comes up, there's a point, it's a little triangle. And there is a sickle, and there is an outline for a hammer.
I'm going to put the hammer in the hammer outline.
Oh, I forgot to roll for the doors on the slime's turn. 1 second while I do that. Or no, that doesn't happen until the end of the round? Yeah, end of the round. Anyway, that 14 will happen later. All right, so you put it in, and oh yeah, your door is also gone. Never mind. Ignore that roll entirely. So, you put it in, and your door, the glowing subsides.
Yeah.
All right, you have 2 actions left.
Julian, stop it.
You gotta say one thing.
Hey, is that close enough to hit the guy, or do
Yeah.
I need to go one further?
No, you could do it from there.
All right, so I'm gonna move there with 1 action,
All right, so that leaves
and then I'm
1
gonna
remaining.
use my club, and I'm going to hit it with my club,
Nice.
or at least attempt to.
Are you gonna stop
I
raging
gotta-
first? Because I think that's anathema otherwise, right?
I'm just gonna risk it. I'm just gonna bite it. Because I can't, and like I can't stop raging.
Oh, that's
13.
right. You can't choose to stop raging. It's until either all of your enemies are dead or you run out of turns or whatever. All right, what was your attack roll?
13.
That'll hit.
Thirteen damage.
Nice. That's pretty good. All right, and then your bite does what type of damage?
It's piercing, slashing. Piercing.
Piercing. All right, cool. And then the reflex save to see if you take the acid from an unarmed attack on this acidic creature.
22.
All right, you do not. You're able to like take a bite and then you pull your head out of the way as it's trying to like glort back on you. And luckily, you can't taste anything right now, so you don't have to try and imagine how bad this thing tastes. Its texture is certainly highly unpleasant, like congealed blood.
Yay.
Did I apply the damage already? I think I did. Yeah. All right, cool. And then you can, if you want to, grapple it so it can't move as part of your bite.
Would you like to grapple it?
Sure, why not?
All right, it is now grappled, and if it wants to move, it has to try to break the grapple first. All right, so that is Akalupu's turn. Got a lot done there. So next up, we have the one that is directly in front of you. It is actually, it doesn't like being grappled, so it's going to try to break it. So let's get an athletics check. It actually has a surprisingly good athletics. 29. Pretty sure that breaks out of your grapple. Yeah, all right, so it is no longer grappled, but it used one of its actions just to break out of the grapple, so that's a win for you. Because now it can only attack you twice. And hit you twice. I don't think either of those are crits, though. What's your AC,
15.
Akalupu? 15?
15. Yes.
All right. Yep, luckily no crits. You're going to take one heck of a slapping. 15 points of damage. Or not 15, sorry. 25 points of damage.
Oh.
A little different.
Yeah, just a little bit.
At the end of the day, at least he's already put the hammer in.
Yeah. All right, and that is it for its turn. Obviously, number 4 here is dead, so let me just remove him from the stage. And, oh, I forgot. I'm not going to retcon it, because then you'd be like getting attacked by 2 slimes, and that would be unfair to do after the fact, but technically, when you bit this guy, he split. like so. Let's add another one to the stage. Stage. What did it do for? Okay, so it named that number 5. So we're gonna just make this one number 5. And then I gotta do all this stuff again. Let's see.
No, you don't.
All right. And then, like I said, I won't have it also attack you, even though technically it could. I'll be nice. I'll have pity. All right. Next round, PPOP. It is finally back around to you.
Alright, PPOP.
I put the plaque in the hole.
All right. Oh, end of round. I needed to roll a thing. Two D8. All right, 15 this time.
That's what, an 8 and a 7? I'm 2d8?
Yup.
Mischief! Oh! Murder!
Gotta do this on all the guys that are still alive. Cool. Alrighty, now you slap it in. Similarly again, so at the end of the round, you know, all of these kind of big pillars glow. Akalupu's does not, because it has been presumably deactivated, so the other two glow, and the slimes glow a similar color. And then the next round starts. PPOP, you slap yours into its opening. Yeah, it's I don't know. There's a car and you slap it on the bumper like a bumper sticker. But yeah, so you put it in there, and similarly to Akalupu's pillar, all of the etched drawings go dark, and presumably that's a good thing. So that's one action. You have 3 remaining.
Okay. I didn't think that far. I'm grabbed, so I guess my only option is to fight free with my dagger.
You're not going to use the Kopesh? Pretty sure the Kopesh does a lot more damage.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Kopesh.
What is the Kopesh made of?
The Kopesh is made of bone.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess just. Well, we'll do the one attack.
Do you want to spend a resource, a resolve point first to get some of your stamina back, or do you just want to go all out, get some attacks in?
Yeah, I think I kind of just want to go all out and kill this thing. I think I can do it. But first we're gonna do an attack roll. See how it goes. Then we're gonna probably do another attack, and then we'll see what to do with my last action.
Alrighty.
Okay, so the first attack roll. Wait, where'd it go? It was such a good roll. Shoot.
Did you roll it in Hero Lab? 15.
Oh yeah, but then I just re-rolled it.
Oh, okay, so it's that first one. 28.
Yeah, it was really good. I want to keep it.
All right, 28. That is a crit.
Yes. Okay. Wait, I have to roll it again just so it shows up. So that's 30 damage.
Whoop.
I rolled really well.
Hey, boy. All right, so that's number 1. 30 damage.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna attack again for sure. Oh, that one was only an 8.
All right. So the one that you hit is dead.
Oh. So I guess I'm not doing another attack because I can't reach anything else.
Yeah, you're gonna need to move. So that was
Okay,
2
well-
actions so far, so you still have 2 remaining.
Let's spend a resolve, get some stamina.
Alrighty, so that's half of your stamina rounded down, which is nice and even for you, so yep.
And then with my last action,
Unless you want to, instead of getting that stamina back, move and hit the other slime.
no, I don't think I want to do that. I think actually I want to move like onto the ceiling here,
Alright.
out of reach.
So the
And end my
ceilings
turn
are
up there.
not high enough that you would be out of reach. They
Oh,
could still just reach their tentacles up and still get you.
well, scratch that then. I still think it's probably a little bit too risky to run in there with 3 HP.
Yep, you can spend another action to get the other half of your stamina points back.
That's actually probably smart. Although then I only have 1 resolve point left. Is that bad in any way?
It means you have less resolve points for if you like take more damage or need to use them to not die.
Oh, well then, yeah, let's do it.
Nice. Alright. That gives you a little buffer in case they come after you. So that is your turn. Mono Anui, you're up.
Mono Anui, first things first, is going to pour the elixir in the hole.
Alright. And same as the others, the statue ceases to glow.
Anything happen to the slimes?
They are no longer glowing the same color as the statues.
Oh,
But they
Maybe
were
that
only
was
doing
almost
that in
making them
kind of
split.
waves. So they would like, so that the statues were like always glowing a little bit, and then at the end of the round they would glow like brightly, and the slimes would glow the same color, and then subside. So there is no visible change on the slimes.
I can't really go heal Yasuka, so I would take 2 movement actions.
Yep, and you only have 2 actions remaining.
Yeah. Which one is this one?
That one is slime number 3.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You need to hold your turn while you think about it.
Nah, I think I'm just going. Well, I'm going to cast. Oh, that's a touch spell. Son of a gun. None of these are magical creatures, right? I'm not getting any.
You can
magical
deliver touch spells using Reginald.
Oh, I could. Well, I'm going to transfer Shocking Grasp to Reginald.
Alright, that's your remaining 2 actions. Now Reginald has 2 actions, so he could use that to fly over and deliver it.
He is. He's going to. Well, let's see. Yeah, you can't get to any of the other ones. So he is going to. Good old Reggie. He's going to fly here-ish and deliver Shocking Grasp to the slime.
All right. I think that's one you roll for attack on. Is that correct?
You are correct. 23.
That'll hit. That is actually a crit even.
Nice. And then let me roll for damage. I had to refresh my page because it was freaking out. 32.
All right, 32 damage as you deliver a shocking grasp to this creature. And thankfully, we've already established. I mean, this was just kind of a call on my part. I probably should have had it do damage to you guys, but we've already said it that shocking grasp does not do damage to people grabbed by slimes. So it will not hit Yasuka for 32 damage.
I just pushed her over the edge.
All right.
Shouldn't have had me so tough.
All right. So that will kill it. And that is the end of your turn. So now it is Yasuka's turn. So Yasuka is going to spend her 1 hero point to immediately stabilize, remove the wounded condition, and so she is now stable at 0 hit points and can revive on her next turn with a single hit point. That is it for her turn. Or technically, she's going to defer her turn till after Sammy. Sammy's gonna blow her last healing spell. And is going to heal her for 26 points of damage, which is gonna put her almost at full on hit points, not stamina, obviously. And then she is going to use the rest of her turn to hide behind this pillar. So now, because Yasuka has been healed, she's not been healed to full, so she's wounded 1, but she is now conscious, but prone. So she can now use 1 action to stand up, and then her other 2 remaining actions to do good old blazing dive again. So let me remove the skull. She's not dying anymore. She's gonna blazing dive over here. So let's see about damage. 4 plus 4d6. All right, so 20 damage. Can they make any reflex saves? So this is number 5 and number 2. Go ahead and remove the dead ones. All right, so number 2, reflex save. 15 is not gonna do it. Number 5, reflex save. 17, also not gonna do it. All right, so they are both taking the full 20 damage. Sadly, no kills, but she's done some definite damage to them. Right. That is her turn. Well, I guess technically that happened after Akalupu's turn. So Akalupu.
Akalupu.
We'll just go with the order though. We didn't do any kill stealing, so fine.
Yes.
Did not steal.
Akalup was moving forward.
And you're now flanking with Yasuka on number 2 there.
Oh, that's not true. I've only muted you. JK.
And I'm going to bite it.
All right, so you have 3 actions remaining. It's flat-footed, so that's going to help you with your bite.
I rolled an 18.
All right,
I
that's
rolled
a hit.
4
That's a
and
miss.
a 9.
That is also a miss. So 1 hit.
6
How does
damage.
Akalupu have this bad of luck with his attack rolls?
Because I'm playing him.
Like, you have a +5 on your bite. How did you roll? One of those was lower than 5, was it? A 4.
One of
How
them
did?
was a-
Oh, because it was your lower, like your later attacks.
Yeah.
When you don't have a +5. Okay. Sag. All right. So 1 hit. How much damage?
6.
All right, 6 damage on slime number 2. Luckily, it only had 2 hit points left, so it is now dead.
Nice.
All right, so that is Akalupu's turn. Go ahead and remove this guy from the stage because he's no longer there.
He's no longer alive.
He's no longer with us. All right, but this guy, this other one, he's not too happy about his clone, his friend, himself.
His father.
It's unclear their relationship to each other. But regardless, he's none too happy that you took him out. So we're gonna get some hits in here. All right, 2 23s and a 12. The 12 misses. The 23s are not quite crits, thankfully. But 2 hits. This could still do some serious damage. Yeah. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
All right, so that is a total of 42 damage.
Oh, jeez.
And your unconscious body is grappled, if that matters.
No.
Good to know.
Yikes.
All right, PPOP, you're up.
For honor. I'm gonna move here. And stab.
Alrighty, let's get those attack rolls.
Are we flanking with the dead body?
No,
dying
you
corpse?
cannot flank with unconscious characters. However, you can. Oh, I didn't mean to move that guy. You are flanking with Yasuka.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's good. Because we're about to do some stabby stab. Apply sneak attack. Let's have. There we go. Okay. First attack is a 20.
All right, that'll hit. No crit.
And that does 11 damage.
All right, it's hurting. It's not dead though.
Second attack is an 18.
That'll hit. Still not a crit though.
10 damage.
All right, it is looking real bad.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. 8.
With flanking. Do you have any hero points left?
I don't.
Does someone want to donate a hero point?
I will donate a hero point.
All right.
I'll donate a hero point. I have 2.
Cool. All right. Akalupu only has 1 hero point left. PPOP, you can go ahead and roll that one more time.
Okay, here we go. No whammies.
Oh, could I squeeze a fart?
11.
That with flanking, that's a hit.
Woo!
15 damage.
All right. It is very dead.
Huzzah! Communism reigns. Wait, We don't know what that is.
All right, and as the creature finally dies, yeah, he just kind of like pools into the ground. This dark miasma that's been around is still on the ground. It seems to be lightening slightly, but you can see all of these different slimes slowly dissolve, like dry ice, right? Where it kind of like turns into a vapor, into this dark miasma, and it slowly retreats into the corners of the room.
Akalupu, I'll save you.
Do you want to
Just
roll
give him
a medicine check on him?
Yes.
Would you like Sammy to help, or would you like to help Sammy?
I'm doing it myself, and I rolled a 25.
All right, that's good enough. That heals 2d8, I believe.
Oh.
2d8, yes. DC 15 says.
Yep. Are you gonna roll it?
Oh, shoot. Duh.
Hey, not bad. All right,
Not
Akalupu.
bad at all.
You are now conscious with 10 hit points.
Hey.
As PPOP is like, I don't know, cleaning goop off of you and applying bandages. I would assume that's what you're doing.
Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. That's what they taught us.
Akalupu's not sure how he feels about that, considering that PPOP is an uncomfortably sexy pony right now.
That's standard island CPR.
There you go. All right, so yeah. Everyone is conscious and alive. Yasuka is gonna come over as well and be like, "Oh my gosh, I like almost died, but then I like did it and we won."
Akalupu's gonna feed his bloodstone.
All right. Most of the blood is kind of like dried and crusty, but you're able to get a little bit of blood that kind of absorbs into your stone.
Akalupu's gonna feed his bloodstone.
Wano Anui, she's stealing your blood.
What? Here I am in the other room trying to calm down a sad, sad child. What do I get for my trouble? My blood taken?
Terrible.
Mama Anui is going to go up to this thing and look at it.
All
Can we
right.
roll occultism or arcana or something?
What are you trying to do? If you're looking at it, that's perception.
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
It's an altar covered in blood.
Well, like it looks like to be like a red stone-ish thingy.
No.
There.
A rock
That's
covered
just-
in blood.
Part of the altar.
That's covered in blood.
Yep, most of it's dried and not very good for the bloodstone.
Well, Mama Anu is going to check out this door.
All right, so you go up to that pillar, and interestingly, the other two looked to be solid. This one does have a line down the center, similar to the door you came in through.
Mm. Excuse you.
Maybe it's
Is
the
it-
crown.
The door is the
No,
crown.
Huh?
Well, PPOP said maybe it's the crown, so I said the door is the crown! Exclamation mark.
Hits head on door. Mama is gonna push on the door.
All right, you push on the door and it opens easily.
Mama is gonna step forth.
Onward.
Behold the beautiful unicorn.
Mom.
It does actually look a lot like your mom. No, the horn itself is not golden, but it does have the well, no, she has strawberry blonde mane and tail, not just blonde. So no, it doesn't actually look that much like your mom.
I was just hopeful.
But yeah, there is a crystalline statue of a pony, and atop its head you see a crown. It is a silvery crown, decorated with images of the moon, like a crescent moon, and stars. And the whole thing is wreathed in an aura of darkness. It's very similar, Mono Anui, to Topple.
That's interesting. Interesting. Mano Anui is gonna reach out a hand.
Wait. Don't you think it might hurt you? It's covered in that dark stuff.
I've got some experience with this. I think if I just reach my hand out and grasp it. I'm gonna do that. Reach my hand out and lay hold of it.
All right. It feels abnormally cold to the touch, but not painful in any way.
Mano Anui is gonna lift the crown and hold it in both of her hands. I keep wanting to say his hands.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while to get used to.
It is. I sound like a stuttering fool. I should say more than normal. It's because I keep trying to correct the pronouns.
Yeah.
Going to hold it and look directly at it.
All right. You're looking right at it. It's beautiful, very fine craftsmanship. It's made of steel, or not steel. It's made of silver. So it's made of some sort of black metal and a silver metal. You're not familiar with metal crafting in general, so this entire thing is beyond you in terms of how something like this would be created.
Magic.
Oh, it's super magical.
Oh, okay.
Like this thing, you're not even having to detect magic, and you could just feel the magic that strongly. Like this is radiating magic that is, if anything, more powerful than Genie.
Oh, geez. Well, Mano Anui looks at his friends. Her friends, my goodness. I'm going to put it on my head. This
Alright.
feels like the right thing to do.
So as you're doing that, the crown is coming down toward the top of your head. Just then, Yasuka, who left to fetch Blackrock, and Starfire, the three of them, return. And, it's descending the last few inches toward your head. And, Starfire is like, no, wait, it'll kill you. And then you put it on your head anyway, and it doesn't kill you.
Huh.
Instead...
And the gallery gasps.
But yeah, she's like, don't put that on your head. It'll kill you if you're not like a girl or whatever. But you put it on anyway. touches your head. Everyone should now be able to see the crown of night.
Yes.
So this is what it does. So it is a black silver crown with moon and stars motif. It can be used to attune to the aspect of night once per long rest. Attuning takes 1 minute. The effect can be dismissed at any time as a whole round action. The effect lasts for 1 hour. The effect must be used all at once and cannot be split into multiple uses in a single long rest. When in the aspect of night, the wearer takes the form of a pale creature with all black eyes shrouded in shadow, which will have happened to you as you put the crown onto your head this first time. From this point forward, you'll be able to choose when you attune, though. The wearer can become invisible at any time and can make up to 10 willing creatures invisible with them. When invisible, creatures can make any actions, even combat actions, without being revealed, though obviously taking certain actions can make it easier for the subject to be located. When in the aspect of night, an eclipse can be triggered. It takes 30 seconds for the eclipse to take full effect, or to fully end if dismissed. The eclipse can last as long as the user is still in the aspect of shadow. The eclipse reduces visibility as if it were nighttime, and if used at night will cause a moonless night even if there would normally be some moonlight. When in the aspect of shadow, the user can wield a weapon made of the shadow surrounding them. The weapon must be a melee weapon, but otherwise takes the shape the user desires. The weapon has a reach of 10 feet. The weapon deals 2d10 plus strength or dex of your choice damage. On a crit, it does 3x damage instead of 2x. The user is always considered trained in this weapon, and attacks made in the dark on unaware targets have attacks made in the dark or on unaware targets have a +5 to hit. And that's in addition to any of your normal bonuses to hit.
Yeah, this is a legendary item if I ever saw one.
Well, dang. You know?
Oh yeah, Topple was not overselling this thing.
Hey, listen, I lost one sword and gained another. I hear you.
All right, so do we want to go ahead and wrap up now, and then we'll pick up next time with the aftermath?
Yeah, it seems like a good cliffhanger.
I like it.
All right.
By the way, I kind of pictured myself like, you know how like in Lord of the Rings, where like, you know, someone's like drawn to the ring and into like this weird trance and reach out.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a little bit of that. It's not quite as much as Lord of the Rings, where like you can hear the whispering of Sauron, right? It's not quite that. But minus the whispering voices, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I envisioned like happening when I like reached out and grabbed it. Put it on my head.
Exactly. It felt like there was a magnetic force drawing you both to the crown and then also the crown to your head. Very much so. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up. As always, what has PPOP learned?
PPOP learned that I don't know.
All right, we'll come back to PPOP then. What about Akalupu? What has he learned?
Akalupu learned that sometimes it's nice to not taste things.
Yeah, no, trust me, this thing was not pleasant, especially considering it was doing acid damage just from you like touching it. Of course, who knows? Maybe it just tastes super sour and it actually would have been like eating a warhead. All right, PPOP. Back to you.
Okay. Yeah, PPOP learned that sometimes it pays being a woman.
Yeah.
Jealous of that crown.
Well, there's another one still out there. You know, the other half of the crown, you need to get that one from Celestia, so opportunities still remain.
You know what you must do.
You know?
Sell my soul.
Akalupu's probably got a sharp knife somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But yeah. Anyway. And then what about Mono Inui? Figured we should save him for last on this one.
I feel like Mono Inui learned a lot, like when that crown, when she got that crown.
Oh yeah, and as you put it on your head and attune it to yourself, like you kind of understand all of those things you can do with it as you're being transformed into this pale creature.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always a pale creature, but now you're a pale creature with black eyes and shrouded in shadow.
Cool pale creature rather than like a pasty pale creature.
Exactly. And it's probably kind of like a Sailor Moon transformation. Like, you look older now than you did before you transformed, so now you actually have some curves and stuff that makes it more obvious.
Yeah. Not like people are just like, well, I guess BlackRock was wrong about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you all had fun on this session, and I will catch you all at the next one.